Hello students. The next point in unit 1st is on nephrolepis, the schematic diagrams of the nephrolepis life cycles. Or the question asks like explain the alternations of generations in nephrolepis. So as you know, this nephrolepis plant has two different life cycles, that is sporophytic generations and gametophytic generation. So the sporophytic generation is in dominant stage and gametophytic generation is in recessive stage. But these both the generations are the independent. So this is the schematic representations of the nephrolepis life cycle. In that the nephrolepis sporophyll, which is in diploid, which is forms the sporophyte, that is 2n. This sporophyte body produces the sporangium. In that there is the capsules and stalk. These capsules encloses the spore mother cells. These spore mother cells undergoes meiosis and they form spores. So this is the sporophytic generation. Spore formation is the end stage of the sporophyte generation, and if the spores germinate as a this germinations of the spore is the beginning of the gametophytic generation. So spore germinate and they forms the prothallus body, which is in haploid stage. In the prothallus, the male and female sex organs will be produced. The male sex organ is called as antheridium and female sex organ is called as archegonium. So after the development in antheridium, they forms the haploid anthrozoids and archegonium forms the egg cells, which is also in haploid stage. Then in anthrozoids and egg cells, fertilizations will be takes place and they forms the sorus or zygote, which is again the in diploid stage, and the zygote is grow as a new new body as a sporophyte. So this is the life cycle. So nephrolepis, as I already told, is has two generations, sporophytic generations and gametophytic generation. In that, the sporophytic generation is in diploid stage and dominant generations. In this generation, the plant body that is sporophyte, which is reproduces asexually, and it is also called as asexual reproduction phase. Then the sporophytic body of the nephrolepis plant is differentiated as a true root, stem and the leaves. Then the leaflets or pinna, which is present on the leaf of the sporophyte, which is also called sporophyll. So these sporophylls contain the sorus on its abaxial sides at the ends of the forked ventlets. So these sporophyll produce or the sorus is nothing but the group of the sporangia, and which is covered by these endoecium. Then each sporangium contains the stalk and capsule. The capsule having the jacket layer, and in that annulus and stromium is present. Inside these jacket layers, the spore mother cells are there. In that, about 16 spore mother cells are present in this sporangium. These spore mother cells are undergoes the meiosis and they form the spores. So they produces about 64 spores. Then after the maturations, these sporangium will be dehiscence in the dry seasons and the spores will be liberated. After this formation of the spores, these diploid or dominant sporophytic generations will be end and the sexual reproduction is over here. So next generation, that is the gametophytic generation. So gametophytic generation is start from the spores. So spores is the first cells of the gametophytic generation. It is haploid in stage and also it is a recessive generation. So spores of the nephrolepis, it is kidney shaped Also it having the single nucleus, that is uninucleate, and these all spores will be same. That was it is called as the homosporous. When these spores will be germinate, they forms the germ tube. This these these spores will germinate. They form the two cells. In that, one is the rhizoidal cells and another one is the prothelial cells. When these rhizoidal cells forms the root and prothelial cells forms the prothallus. So, which is also called as the gametophyte. So, gametophyte, it is look like the heart shaped and its size is about 5 millimeter, and the cells are the thick. So it is monoecious, that means it bears both antheridium as well as archegonium, that is female sex organ and male sex organ. So antheridium, it is spherical in shapes and they contain the androzoids or androzoids mother cells. These androzoids mother cells is in haploid, and they undergoes the metamorphosis and they form the anthrozoids, that is male gametes. In case of the archegonium structure is like the flask shape and it has two parts, venters and neck. In venter, it is made up by the venter canal cells and egg cells, whereas neck is made up by the neck cells and neck canal cells. Similarly, when the antheridium will mature, these antheridium will be break down and anthrozoids will be liberated out. So these anthrozoids will be swim to another prothallus for searching the archegonium. Then fertilizations will be takes place between anthrozoids and egg cells, and after the fertilization they forms the oospores, which is in diploid stage. So this is the formations of the zygote. It is the end of the gametophytic generation. So in this way, the sporophytic and gametophytic generations will be takes place in the nephrolepis. In that, these two stages will be independent, and in this way, the life cycle of the nephrolepis plant will be completed.